Good morning, everybody. We're going to give it about a minute or two here. Let people get logged in here. It'll take a minute or two. Good morning, Brandon. We'll wait for a few more people to get logged in here, and we'll start the update. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Brandon. Yeah. I'm going to be in Central Texas. Okay, we'll start the update. Okay, so as expected, the Storm Prediction Center's upgraded Central Texas to a moderate risk this morning as the warm front is actually passing Austin and southern Texas, rapidly flying northward. It's flooding north. Now, so basically the Storm Prediction Center, they've got a large slight risk. It goes all the way up to Chilliwack, across southern Oklahoma, all the way over to southern Arkansas, then enhanced risk, including the Dallas Metroplex, as you can see, and then a moderate risk all the way down here. It's going to be Waco, Temple, Austin corridor, just northeast of San Antonio, then off to the northeast across central Texas is what's going on there. Let's look at tornado. This is going to be a kind of a widespread event. Now, if you look on the latest update at 1630, you got a 2% tornado risk all the way from east of Lubbock, all the way up to Shamrock, all the way to Oklahoma City Metro, all the way to Fort Smith, Little Rock. So it's very large too. 5% is a little bit smaller than that. Then you got a 10%, 5 to 10%, and then we've got a hatched, including the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro on over east there. Yes, you'll have flooding in Oklahoma, on over to west of Shreveport. And then it comes all the way down just west of I-35 along the draw line, back out west here, back down to the northeast sides of San Antonio. So basically what's going to happen is the draw line is going to fire back west here, and then they're going to move off to the northeast. But basically, let's get into what the meat of the discussion. They talk about, and they've went to level to category 4 out of 5 as far as risk goes this afternoon along the I-35 and I-45 corridors. They expect initial semi-discrete supercell mode with very large hail as it takes off to the northeast, probably about 40 to 50 miles an hour. It'll involve in complex mode. So basically, there's 90 knots at 500 coming out this afternoon in central Texas and northern Texas, and basically the line's going to fire, and then they're going to move, to the east northeast. Some of the tornadoes could be significant, possibly long track tornadoes is clearly possible as you get just east of Waco. So the storms are going to fire just immediately west from like northwest. Is this big arc on the latest data. I'm going to show you that too. An arc, and the draw line back builds down here like 4 o'clock, and as they back build, then they're going to rocket to the east. And as they get east, they're going to start getting into the deeper low-level jet off to the east of the I-35 corridor. And as that happens, the storms will become more intense with a stronger possibility of more significant damaging tornadoes. So anyway, that is that. Let's look at satellite. It's very interesting what's happening here in satellite. This is kind of the central Texas. There's a lot going on this map, and that is that you got the upper wave coming out here in the West Texas, and there's the draw line is starting to surge east. The warm front now is just about to pass Austin right now. It's surging north rapidly, very rapidly. Now the warm front is about to pass, and we're, besides rain showers, it's probably just barely south, but I'm like 70 over 70 here. So temperatures are skyrocketing. The warm front is surging north. So as soon as this gunge gets out of here in the next hour or so, then we're gonna go ahead and get up into the mid to upper 70s. This clearing line back to my west southwest here along the I-35. It's already clearing out probably about 75 to 100 miles west of here. It's clearing out rapidly. So we're going to quickly warm into the mid to upper 70s, probably even low 80s here, especially Waco southward. Low 80s with near 70, 73 dew points with screaming east-southeast winds. So this is going to ignite. And if we look at the latest, let's go over here. We've got that. Let's go over here to forecast models. So I'm gonna, this is just trying to, people know about helicity tracks and hail tracks. It's just kind of telling you what the models are thinking as far as the storms. Let's go to actual radar here. And let's look at this, because this is again is just simulating what the model thinks is going to happen. But it's been pretty close, and it's been pretty consistent with its path and what it's thinking is going to happen with the storms as we get in the afternoon mode. And I can tell you that that's scary. So this is the 15Z run of the HRR. Yep. So what happens, you've got this warmer advection, which is like over Austin now. It's lifting up to Waco rapidly. Oklahoma, you've got storms. And then you got the draw line starting to fire back up south of Childress here. That's starting to fire as we get into that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it's starting to backbuild. You see these bigger storms south of Dallas. These are going to be moving north at 50 to 55 miles an hour. These kidney bean shaped storms, they'll start producing small tornadoes as they approach the metroplex before that time. And then here's the draw line back out west here, starting to unzipper. And we'll watch it how this progresses here. We'll go 1 hour farther. This is going to be now at 21Z at 4 o'clock. We've already got tornadic storms out here. The model thinks there's tornadic storms out here east of Weatherford. It's going to be west of Fort Worth, northeast of Abilene. It's got storms already going there. I've got storms that are now trying to go surface base. The model thinks at 4 to 5, just south of the Dallas Metroplex. This gunge turns into surface base storms as the warm air continues to surge north. Now we're starting to get where you see the due west winds here west of 35. This is San Antonio. The draw line is going to be running through San Antonio. And immediately on that line, you go to south-southeast winds. I've got storms hyper exploding at 4 o'clock on the models. Continue to show, a lot of cams show this. This is going to be north of San Antonio. Austin's right here. You got Waco up here in Temple. These storms explode and then they race northeast at about 50. So they're going to get going. They'll probably produce hail initially. Large hail, maybe up to baseball size. This is the next hour. As you can see, we've got tornadic storms east of San Antonio, south of Austin, over Austin, north of Austin, up here at Waco. So this is a full-scale tornado outbreak starting on the I-35 corridor. And about this time, you're now at 6 p.m. So crossing the I-35 corridor, probably in the 5 o'clock time frame. These are going to produce golf ball to baseball size hail moving northeast at 60 miles an hour with damaging tornadoes increasing as you get along and east of the I-35 corridor, which they're going to be the moderate risk area running right through here in central Texas. And if we go on with time, and you'll see these storms will they'll continue to produce tornadoes as it comes out of central Texas here and rockets to the northeast. And again, we don't pay attention to the individual stripes. They'll move each update. Some of them had them farther south, farther north. You know, it's going to jump out here as we get later this evening. But as you get the idea, you got tornadoes out west of Fort Worth. You've got some stuff up here at Waco, Temple. And then you've got other tornadic storms both northwest and south and over Austin. And you got tornadic storms possibly back to the northeast of San Antonio. And this whole cluster is going to rapidly move northeast up into the piney woods of East Texas, probably north of College Station and back over on this area. College Station is about in here. So just in that general area. So you kind of get the idea. Generally what's happening tomorrow, that's a totally different deal. Let's jump to another model here and we'll go to the pivotal side here. I'm going to show you, as you see the sun's trying to break out here. This is Austin. Sun's already trying to break out. The warm front's starting to lift north of me now. So that's going to continue to lift north. I also tell you that the websites are having very hard time loading, and data is not the best. Even on I-35, having lots of problems with data this morning, just trying to get a connection to different websites and things like that. So it's kind of not too excited about potentially having good data later as the storms develop and we're in high populated areas. That could be a problem. I'm going to show you another model here. Let me get it up. This is going to be the V2 V3 model, and I'm just going to go out with time and show you what it thinks is going to happen. Again, this is going to be a pretty intense look at the data. Let's look at this. So you kind of, this is like the 2-day outbreak. You know, this is really going to be more later tonight and really Tuesdays over here. But today, you know, it's got some renegade storms in the left front quadrant of the jet. The jet core comes right into Dallas, the left front quadrant of the jet. So left of that and where the warm front crosses, it thinks there's going to be some nice renegade tornadic storms west of Ardmore, possibly coming in southern Oklahoma there, just to the northwest of the Fort Worth metro. It likes a lot. Obviously, I've got those renegade storms, which are sort of going surface space southeast of the metro. Just to the east is going to be Canton. It's going to be up toward Paris. There's some renegade storms that fire at 4 to 7 p.m. And then back here, back towards San Antonio, Austin area, you've got multiple tornadic storms. They're not too bad in this area, but as soon as they get east of here, about 30 to 40 miles, then they go into just absolutely ballistic mode up in this general area. And this is where the extremely low level jet is. You know, it's 7 and 9 o'clock tonight. I expect damaging tornadoes in this general area. Okay, the later the afternoon goes, you get the line east to I-35 after 6 p.m. As they go east in that 7 to 10 o'clock frame, I expect tornadoes down here. This is overnight tonight, like at 3 or 4 in the morning, that fires. Then as we transition to tomorrow morning, early. Tornadic storms break out early over, sun up tomorrow morning. Tornadic storms break out in this area, and then the wave just starts coming northeast, right? So a big outbreak tomorrow. They've already got a big moderate risk back in central Louisiana and Mississippi for tomorrow. So basically a big 2-day outbreak. Again, if you're along the I-35 corridor, you really want to pay attention to the area today. Let me look at another thing here on a map here. Just kind of give you an idea about something. Yeah, so if you think about it, if you got Dallas Metroplex, I'll show you the ones up northwest of there. But it's the whole I-35 and I-44 corridor, Waco, Killeen, Austin, San Marcos, just near and northeast of San Antonio, Columbus, Bremen, College Station, all these areas right in here, Crockett, Buffalo, Palestine, Lufkin, all these areas right in here, you're in a moderate risk for significant tornadoes after about 5 o'clock, okay? So if you know anybody really from these I-35 corridor, including the city of Austin, and then I think the most significant trend is going to be between Waco and Austin, and they march east-northeast across here. That's where I think the really big trouble is going to be today, right? So anyway, that's it. It's raining here right now. The showers keep passing by, and you can see it's kind of partly cloudy above me, and the rain showers are lifting north rapidly. Let's look at radar real quick, because it's been pretty interesting as well. It's had a lot of storms in Oklahoma, a lot of storms in northern Texas. And let's see what we've got. You see we got big storms in Oklahoma right now. Frederick, look at all the thunderstorms going on in Oklahoma. We much needed rainfall, by the way, across that area, which is really good. See a big heavy batch of embedded thunderstorms, embedded rain showers rapidly lifting north across central Oklahoma right now, and parts of eastern Oklahoma. Those moving north look like at about, I'm going to guess, 65 miles an hour. They're rocketing. You can see how long those arrows are there. They're going to be really, really long. 47 knots, about 55 miles an hour. They're racing due north at 55 miles an hour. So it doesn't take very long, for storms to get by you and pass you. They're going to come in really quick and go by really quick. There's some storms over there already starting to get that renegade look a little bit to them. They're kind of not surface based yet, but again, anything over east of Dallas there, I think is fair game. As we get later in the afternoon, you get warmer conditions over here. As we get in that 3 to 4 o'clock time frame, I think things will get more interesting. And then we get back here at Granger. You can see the storms here right now. Nothing too intense right now, but again, you can see there's storms off to my east. This is really where the low-level jet is going on right now. It really ramps up 50, 60 knots. It's kind of like in this area, right? So as soon as the storms develop on the I-35 corridor and they start doing this, right? And they, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and they come out of this area. As soon as they get just east of the I-35 corridor, then you're going to have significant tornadoes coming back in this general direction, right? That's basically what's going to happen. Okay, you see showers. Warm front ought to be. It's very, very close right now. It's something like this. It's very, very close to us, and it's about to pass us. If it's not, it's coming through right now, and it's lifting north rapidly. So anyway, that's kind of a short update, and we will see how things progress a little bit later today, this afternoon. But anyway, I'd be on guard. Tornado watches will be out this afternoon, and again. Anywhere along the I-35 corridor, you got to really watch out for today. But again, it's misty, rain. The showers just last a couple minutes, and then they blow by, right? So it's very interesting. Birds are singing. You look at the clouds above the sky here. The clouds are like 40, 50 miles an hour overhead, just racing north. And then a lot higher up, you can see the clouds coming in from the west, southwest. So a lot of wind shear, a lot of instability building, and things will get really crazy probably after 4 p.m. All right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll try to stream today. We're gonna be in a lot of rural areas, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, I think the I-35 corridor is gonna light up at that 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame. Thanks everybody. Stay in touch.